This lesson is on multiplying and dividing decimals. So we have not talked about decimals before, so let's talk about what the form of decimal looks like. We have talked about 7 being the integers. And then when we have decimal place is going to be behind the whole or the integer number, looking something like this. So that's the form we want. When it's not in that form, we're going to have to move the decimal places over. So for example, I have is 5 times 0.2. Think of it as 5 times 2 giving us 10, and the decimal place will be behind the 10. Because 0.2, that decimal place is on the left side of 2, one space over, I actually have to bring that decimal place of the 10 one space over to the left, giving me the final answer of 1.0. So that's what we're going to do when we multiply decimal numbers. Let's try example 1. So example 1 is 23.43 times 25. So for 23, I separated as 20 and 3. The 4 is in the tens place, so we have a 0.4. The 3 is in the hundredths place, so we have a 0.03. For 25, we separated as 20 and 5. So let's go ahead and do the first row. 20 times 20 gives us 400. 20 times 3 gives us 60. 20 times 0.4. So think of it as 4 times 20 giving us 80. And because the decimal place is one place over from the 4, you're going to have to bring one space over on the 80, giving me 8.0. Now we have is 20 times 0.03. So 20 times 3 gives us 60. And then because the decimal place on the 0.03 is 2 spaces from the 3, we will have to bring 2 spaces over from the 60, giving me 0.60. Okay, let's try the second row. 5 times 20 gives us 100. 5 times 3 gives us 15. 5 times 0.4. So again, it's 5 times 4 is 20, but because it's one decimal place to the left, we're going to have to bring it one decimal place to the left for the 20, and that gives us 2.0. 5 times 0.03 is really 5 times 3 is 15, but because you have to move 2 spaces to the left of the 3, you're going to have to move 2 spaces to the left for the 15. That gives us 0.15. Now we're ready to add up the columns. So 400 plus 100 gives us 500. 60 plus 15 gives us 75. 8 plus 2 gives us 10. 0.60 plus the 0.15 gives us 0.75. And when we add up all the 4 columns, our final answer will be 585.75. Let's try example 2. We have is 174 times 0.083. So we break the 174 as 100, 70, and 4. For the decimal, 8 is in the hundredths place, so we're going to go ahead and put 0.08. The 3 is in the thousandths place, so we have a 0.003. So let's go ahead and multiply the first row. So 0.08 times 100, think of it as 8 times 100 is 800, but we have to move the decimal place 2 spaces to the left of the 800, giving us 8.00. 0.08 times 70, so think of it as 8 times 70, which is 560, and because we have to move 2 spaces or 2 decimal places over from the left of 560, that's going to give us 5.60. 0.08 times 4, so 4 times 8 is 32, but again we have to move 2 spaces to the left of 32, so it's going to give us 0.32. Next row, 0.003 times 100, so think of it as 3 times 100 is 300, but we have to move 3 spaces to the left of the decimal, so that's going to give us 0.3 0.300. 0.003 times 70, so think of it as 3 times 70 is 210, but we have to move 3 spaces to the left of 210, so that's going to give us 0.210. And last one, 0.003 times 4, so that's 3 times 4 is 12. Moving 3 spaces to the left of 12 gives us 0.012. Okay, now we're ready to add up the columns. So the first column is 8 plus the 0.3, giving us 8.3. Second column, 5.6 plus 0.210, giving us 5.81. Third column, 0.32 plus 0.12 gives us 0.332. And when we add up all the 3 columns together, our final answer is 14.442. So now let's try example 3, which is division. So when we have 150.75 divided by 25, and we write it in fraction, the 150.75 is the numerator, 25 is the denominator. So now we're going to go ahead and bring it over, and it's going to be toppled over to the right side of this. So we know 150 goes inside as a dividend. It looks up like this, and the 25 is the divisor. So when we talk about decimals, make sure you always start off on the division is writing your decimal place. My decimal place is right there. It's going to match it up. So we're going to go through and do the same thing with what we did with the integers. So 25 does not go into 1. So we go on to the next number. 25 does not go into 15, or cannot go into 15. So now the next number is 25, goes into 150 6 times. So 6 times 25 is 150. Subtract the 2 numbers, we get 0. So now from here, we're going to have to bring the 7 down. 25 cannot go into 7, so we have a 0 on the top right there where the quotient is. And then we bring the 5 down. So 25 goes into 75 3 times. So the final answer becomes 6.03. Okay, now let's try example 4. So 32 divided by 0.4. So again, 32 is the numerator, 0.4 is the denominator. And it topples over, so we know the 32 goes inside as the dividend, and the 0.4 is the divisor. Now when we do division and decimals, you cannot have a decimal of 0.4 on the divisor. So what you do is then you're going to have to bring that decimal place to the right or behind the 4, so it's a whole number. So when you bring it over to the right 1 space, then inside where the 32 is, you will have to bring 1 space over to match it. So now let's go ahead and reduce that or condense that. So it's the same thing we have is still 4. I'm going to go ahead and take the 0 out of the 4 and also the decimal place because we just want a whole number. So now it's a regular number as 4 divided by 320. So the first thing we should do is put our decimal place in there, and now go into 4 does not go into 3. 4 can go into 32 8 times. So 8 times 4 is 32. Subtract it, it's going to be 0. So we bring the 0 down. 4 goes into 0 0 times. So we have a 0 right there. And we bring the next 0 down. 4 goes into 0 0 times. So final answer is 80. So that is the multiplying and dividing decimal numbers.